even see the issue with having no access to this knowledge because most of y'all are illiterate. Illiteracy means though you have the ability, you choose not to read. And it's interesting that y'all ignore the backgrounds but want to claim my ancestors' genes. Trust, I know my people, and I keep hearing my people, but when I listen closer, there's no depth to this mimicry. Copying the language, style, and behavior while lacking the true quality of those things fundamentally. Forced reactions with no sense of self, and you can't trace back your lineage, exacerbates the crisis in your identity. So hopefully I have enough perspective here to guide us to some form of peace. When real ones make it out the ghetto, in search of the finer things, we always find a way to enhance everyone's American dream. At the age of 15, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. decided he was going to Morehouse to change the trajectory of his family. Coming from a lineage of preachers who all grew up in poverty during the Jim Crow era, no part of that was easy. Ordained minister at the age of 19, knowing he had to incorporate that preaching into his dream. Age 26, graduated with his doctorate, philosophy and systematic theology from Boston University. Time was of the essence, and immediately after 11 years of studying, he was ready to get closer to his destiny. Working relentlessly for that next 13 years, fighting with his blood, sweat, and tears, he was murdered, nowhere near close to the average life expectancy. Not enough time to continue developing his recipe for peace, and it's crazy that he sacrificed all that time and energy just so his legacy could be diminished to two things: nonviolence and equality. When they amplify the former, it makes him look weak. Very sloppily, they use the word equality to tell you why they have to erase what Dr. King fought for, saying they do it for fairness and unity. How is that convincing? The oppression been around for centuries. What protects us is barely 60. When you don't know your history, people can tell you anything. And when you don't know your history, it tends to repeat. No longer able to use his gift of speech is the reason we meet today. How would he want us to honor his dreams? How should we behave? Adopting his methods of peaceful action, even though in the end he was looking to find new ways? When you don't know our history, the convenient truths you consume will be the main cause of our fate. Do y'all really think they won't stop until they take everything? Again, the aversions working against you are at least 400 years old, but 60 years of integration got y'all thinking we can't go back to being bought and sold, lynched and maimed, like prisoners ain't out here getting whipped and chained, like athletes and rappers ain't signing over their freedom for fame. Illiteracy is impacting our ability to truly change. Right now, people filled with generational curses of hate and rage out here working OT to divide and conquer this false sense of security. We're clearly taking for granted what our ancestors have fought for centuries, and our best excuse is, but no one told me anything. Negligence somewhere in your family tree does not exempt you from your responsibilities to the heritage you claim to keep. This illusion got my West Coast kinfolk fumbling their ability to think. The truth has to be something you seek actively. Your colonized understanding of yourself keeps you suffering from mob mentality. That lack of autonomy removes your ability to question what you've been taught to believe. And if you think I'm not talking to you, I promise I am. Don't play with me. Y'all got all this access to resources and opportunities. Y'all families made it out of real hoods, and yet y'all can barely define community? No sense of solidarity and falling out over little things? For a while, I was confused as to why privileged kids would want to behave so ignorantly. All those eyes on screens that amplify our pain and misery, and because y'all don't know enough real ones, you buy into the one-sided stories, ignoring that we numb the pain because we are fully exposed to systems that be, conditions that oppose our humanity. We know what's behind the vanity of this country, and I come from a place where 66% of adults suffer from functional illiteracy. They face their real deficits, but y'all's ignorance comes from not wanting to read. Do you see why that doesn't make sense to me? Yes, I'm here now, and though survivor's remorse leaves me with weight that's heavy and guilty, when it's all said and done, I'd give anything to go back and thrive authentically with the people in my city. I only stand before you today because they deserve more from me. For my heart knows what to do with the privileges I've been given. I love y'all like I love my own, but this is the kind of love I gotta start giving from a distance. I can't keep exerting my energy trying to convince y'all to stop meeting Black stories with resistance. Listen, whatever affects you directly affects all indirectly. I can never fully be what I'm supposed to be until you are who you're supposed to be. Our reality is interwoven. One day I hope y'all wake up and realize that yes, we are the chosen. Thank you.